people carrying deadly weapons are getting younger.
I'm not sure how old he is, to be honest. He looks young.
That's hugely disproportionate to the level of knife crime, but shows you that young people are fearful, and that fear is real.
Be a lot stricter. Zero tolerance with knives on the streets, absolutely zero tolerance. Prison sentence, rehabilitation, and education in school.
A drastic headline just exposed that UK police are retreating as machete gangs turn streets into war zones and authority collapses in real time. This is no longer petty crime. It's 53,000 blade attacks a year, riots erupting after stabbings, and a system so paralyzed that 9-year-olds are arming themselves because protection no longer exists. This is a severe breakdown of safety, moving fast, turning brutal, and becoming normalized. A reality that should terrify anyone who still believes the UK is secure by default.
Typically what you'd see as a zombie-style knife.
There's only one reason anyone's carrying any of these on the street, right?
Yeah, well, they're all completely prohibited, so it would be criminal activity.
This in the hands of a child.
Let me start with a number that should make your blood run cold. 53,000 sharp instrument attacks in just 1 year across England and Wales. That is a knife or machete attack happening every single 10 minutes, 24/7, non-stop. Knife attacks are now the leading cause of homicide in Britain, with hundreds dying annually from blade wounds. While politicians point at overall crime stats going down, weapon-enabled violence has been climbing for over a decade straight.
It's knives like this the UK wants off its streets.
If that was to get stuck in someone, as you're pulling it out, that's going to be ripping your intestines.
A loophole made it legal to own and sell so-called zombie knives and machetes until now.
But here is where it gets truly terrifying. We are not talking about kitchen knives anymore. We are talking about machetes appearing on British streets. High-profile machete incidents are exploding across London, Dalston Market, public parks, areas where families shop, and spreading to other cities like wildfire. Witnesses describe massive red machete-style weapons brandished in broad daylight, with cars even ramming school gates during weapon-related incidents.
Just stay there. Just stay there.
The West Midlands has the highest rate of knife crime in the UK. The reason for that is very simple: gangs.
Kids themselves distinguish between normal knives and Rambo knives, and they know exactly what each signals. When someone pulls out a machete, everyone understands. This is not protection. This is domination. These are psychological weapons meant to inflict maximum fear, and when intimidation becomes the goal, the threshold for actual violence drops to zero.
A 13-year-old girl stabs 2 teachers and then a pupil at her school in Ammanford, West Wales in April 2024.
There has been a 60% increase in children caught with knives inside schools in just 2 years. We are talking about thousands of children bringing knives into classrooms every single day. Teachers are pulling out blades from backpacks, and some have had students who were murdered, and students now serving time for killing someone.
This area has replaced London as the knife crime capital of the UK.
Yeah, guys, you're right.
It's the last day of the school term.
Someone running.
They run towards the danger.
White t-shirt, black shorts.
Schools openly admit they are completely overwhelmed. The response? Kindness workshops, mocked as laughably inadequate when kids are hiding machetes in their lockers. Children are being placed in secure education units at record rates because the traditional school system has no framework for handling this crisis.
Members of this gang in North London admit they've carried and used knives since the ages of 10 or 11 and have become embroiled in postcode rivalries with other gangs.
If somebody touches me here, my whole gang's gonna come to you, your whole family's getting killed.
The youngest confirmed case? 9 years old. One offender arrested at 13 said carrying a weapon was just normal where he grew up. In certain communities, knife carrying is something kids learn before puberty, and they are doing it daily, fully prepared to use them. This is not rebellion. This is primary school-age children living in genuine terror.
And it's really important that you're aware of the dangers and consequences of knife crime.
These can be uncomfortable conversations for 15-year-olds, but here they're not shied away from.
There's definitely a lot of teenagers that I think are like getting involved with this stuff, and I think people are struggling to talk about it as well.
Here is the nightmare. 64% of young people feel anxious about knife crime, and 31% openly say they do not feel safe where they live, socialize, or at school. Experts admit this fear is hugely disproportionate to actual crime levels, but it does not matter. The fear is real and driving catastrophic behavior. Direct quote from a child: "If I see someone with a knife, I want one too." The mentality? Kill or be killed. Fear creates a weapon. The weapon creates more fear, and that fear creates more weapons in an unstoppable domino effect. This is a national psychological collapse where perception has become more powerful than reality, and the cycle feeds itself.
Kids are scrolling through TikTok, kids are seeing things on Snapchat, Instagram, social media, out in the community that they haven't before seen. So these thoughts, these ideas, these kind of violent episodes, kids are witnessing, and the more they witness them, the more normal they become. So we're going through a process now where
social media is accelerating this crisis like gasoline on a fire. Kids scroll through TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram, where knife videos and weapon flexing are served up like entertainment. This generation does not flinch at blades anymore. They scroll right past them after seeing thousands of knife posts before their teens. Carrying a knife has been repackaged as a trend, like fashion. One former offender said, "When you are looking for trouble with knives involved, it properly starts to find you." Platforms are weaponizing youth culture, normalizing brutality until kids see knives as normal, not dangerous.
To kill, to robberies and carrying weapons, we've discovered there were at least 21,000 violent crimes at schools in 2024. These are crimes that were actually recorded by the police.
Children are buying knives online with zero barriers, and kids as young as 14 and 16 are selling weapons on Snapchat like trading sneakers. Police raids uncover zombie knives stashed in bedrooms, weapons parents did not know existed. Many are completely legal to own, so the law draws meaningless lines while gangs step over them with a phone swipe. Police admit, the scale is massive and accessibility is out of control. The internet has created an invisible black market that law enforcement cannot track or shut down.
These are some of the deadly weapons on the streets here. People have handed these in, scared they'll be arrested. But there's plenty more where these came from. So-called zombie knives and machetes.
British police are not preventing knife crime. They are responding after damage is done. By the time officers raid a home, knives have already circulated through schools and streets. Children are already dead before authorities arrive with crime scene tape. This is not policing. This is evidence collection after the fact. Resources are stretched, so thin that outcomes fall catastrophically short, and officers are asked to solve community breakdowns beyond their capacity.
Before then, police are using videos like this to tell owners that these blades can be surrendered at drop boxes without penalty. Experts say concerns about knife crimes spreading across society.
But worse, police are being visibly overpowered. Officers physically retreat under waves of fireworks and bottles from mobs who realize cops will not fight back. Police vans are completely surrounded by crowds who know officers inside are trapped and powerless. Even mounted police are attacked because criminals figured out there are zero consequences for assaulting law enforcement. Hold the line orders fail in real time, caught on phones, shared on social media as viral proof that British police are bystanders in uniforms. With massive volumes of crimes unsolved, public trust is not eroding. It is gone. Authority is not weakening. It is dead.
31% of young people told us they didn't feel safe where they live, where they socialise or where they go to school. And 64% of young people told us they were anxious or worried about knife crime. That's hugely disproportionate to the level of knife crime.
Knife violence exploded into full-scale civil unrest. Stabbings triggered protests that rapidly escalated into riots. Fireworks were weaponized and launched at police like grenades. Hotels were set on fire. Migration. Centers barricaded and attacked, and public anger detonated into street anarchy. What started as protests over youth stabbings transformed into organized violence against the system itself. The message, if the state will not protect us, we will tear it down.
Down in recent years, notwithstanding the steps that have been taken. So we need to deal with that.
His government recently announced a ban on machetes and other large serrated knives, which will take effect this month.
The government's response? Ban zombie knives and declare victory. Pure policy theater. Officials announced bans and set up drop boxes, but the bans are mocked as handle-shaped politics. Criminals just switched to slightly different blades. Loopholes are everywhere. Katanas, ninja swords, and other massive blades remain accessible. Meanwhile, pepper spray is still banned for law-abiding citizens. Any mention of castle doctrine gets instantly rejected. So criminals get machetes easily, and regular people get nothing.
The causes of knife crime are complex, and victims and violent...
Britain's prisons are bursting at capacity, so the government implemented early release schemes dumping inmates back before serving their time. The SDS-40 program sends offenders home early purely because there is no physical space. Violent criminals return to communities they terrorized, often within months. The deterrent effect of prison has evaporated. Criminals know they will do a fraction of their sentence and rejoin their crews. The system prioritizes managing overcrowding over public safety, a revolving door where the same faces reappear committing the same crimes.
Anyone caught with a banned knife could face jail time as the amnesty ends and abolition begins. Michelle Rimmer, ABC News, London.
This is a generational crisis embedding itself into the country. Youth workers warn that a lack of opportunity is fueling violence, but nobody listens. You are watching the destruction of a generation in real time. So after everything you've just seen, machetes on the streets, children arming themselves, police retreating, and fear dictating daily life, do you still believe the UK is safe?